Hi and good afternoon. I was going to show you on the baby blanket, the mystery baby blanket, how we're going to do the very beginning of the rounds around it. And what we're going to do is with the right side facing, and if you remember when we first chained, this is our color A, and it goes across all the way to the other end, then we came back and joined a color B. So what we're going to do for the rounds around it is we're going to put shells in the spaces, not at the tips of where each of the beginning shells were worked in the chain, but we're going to work them in the spaces of each chain, of each shell. So for example, this first would go here, a shell would go here, 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 not in the spaces between each shell. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do a slip knot. For those of you who don't know how to do it, you wrap it around your finger and just push this piece right here through and put it on your hook. Now we have a slip knot. Some people don't put it on until they go ahead and do insert their hook in the stitch they're going to be working in. So we'll do it that way, just in case. And what we'll do is we'll chain 3. And a lot of people, what they do is go ahead and work, well, Donna, what did you do? Is go ahead and work a full corner in the very beginning of the corner. I don't. What I do is half of the corner. So from this point all the way across this first row, we're just going to put shells in each of the spaces where the shell was made, not in the space between each shell, because this is a shell right here. So just go ahead and work all the way over to the next corner, and I'll meet you there. So I'll be right back. I'm going to pause. Okay, I'm back at the end of this first row, and I'm at the place where we're doing the last shell. So let's go ahead and do the last shell here. Well, I'm at a bad angle because my stupid camera pod's in the wrong place. Here we go. Okay, now since this blanket is taller and narrow, I want to increase the sides. So what I'm going to do is do multiple rows of shell only on the side. So we're gonna act like we're doing the normal turn of the blanket, and I'm trying to keep it hidden so that people can't see it. And we will turn, slip stitch between the first shell, and then we will do our chain 3 and do a shell like we did before. Now I'm going to shell in between each shell, not in between in the spaces, but in between the two doubles that form the shell, and I'll go back across. I'm going to do this several more times to increase the first side, and I will get back to you in a second. Okay, we are back. What I basically did was we went across here, up a row, so this is the right side, wrong side, right side. I'm just going to put 3 extra rows here. However, if you want to continue making your sides larger, then what you need to do is make sure that you end on a right side. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the corner, and we're going to go across the top. And so this corner shell right here, this portion is going to be what we're working into. We're going to do a chain 3 and a double. Now across all of these portions of the blanket that are the different rows here, you're going to, into the chain 3 turning space that you were doing to form the last shell, we'll just work a shell. So we've got our one in this corner. Do the next one, and we'll just continue on across. And I'm going to pause again and catch up with you at the other side. Okay, I've finished working all the way across the top, and now I'm over at the far side, and what we're going to do is chain 3, and using this portion right here of the last double of the last shell, we'll work our double. And now we're going to turn and we'll be working down the other side, and right here in the first shell going down, hang on, I've done something wrong here. We'll go ahead and work our first shell of the side, and notice we're still on the right side. We'll go to the next one. So we're going to go all the way across the side and do exactly what we did on the first side of the blanket, which is we're going to go back and forth, working. This row will go all the way across, and then it will come back, and it'll be another row, and then one more time we'll go across. And then we're going to pick it up where I'm getting ready to make the final turn for the bottom of the blanket. And I'll get back with you in a minute. Okay, now I'm at the last corner and getting ready to go across the bottom. And what we're going to do is, just like we did before, we'll chain 3. And in this stitch right here that we just did, the last double of the last shell, we're going to put a chain 3 and then the double crochet. Then we'll just start shelling across the last edge. And what this is going to make this look like is we'll have 3 rows of shells on the 2 narrow sides, and at this point 1 row of, on mine it's white, of shells across the top and bottom. Now you can continue around following the directions in the pattern, or you can join, one of your other colors of yarn to do around. What I'm going to do is go around the blanket one more time with the white all the way around, and then I'll have 4 established corners, which right here, if you look, when we come across here, this is going to be the corner right here that we're going to use to put our shells. And really that's about it. So if you have any questions or don't understand, refer to the pattern first and then email me if you have a question. Hi, now continuing on, I am at the very last round or row. We had rows 1, 2, and 3. The top was 4, 5, 6, 7 were across the other side, and row 8 brings us back to where we started. And what we're going to do is finish off this last corner, and then I'm going to take blue or green, and I'm just going to work around the blanket. I just wanted to show you the corner areas. This is the top, one of the corners and another corner. And if you look at them, they look different than a normal corner does. And where we're going to be making our corners is the very end area where the last shell is on this one. So we'll just go ahead and show you. It's just a normal corner. And the only thing I do different when I do my patterns is I only work half of the corner when I start around, so there's no slip stitching. So the first thing I'm going to do is just go ahead and do the slip stitch and the chain 3, and the corner will be another double crochet, and that's going to start the first corner. Then we're going to just work across the side into each of the shells, putting a shell. When you get to the other end, where you're at the corner, we'll put a full corner. So in this one right here, we will be doing 2 shells, well, 2 doubles, chain 2, 2 doubles, and then we'll be working down the side in the shell. But the very first one, when we're working it, is just the 2 doubles. And I'm just going to act like I've been around the whole blanket because I've had questions about this before. So I'm going to act like I've been around the whole blanket. I'm just going to add over here to the side a shell so that we can act like we're getting ready to join. I'm showing it to you with a different color, but I'll go over here and just create a shell. Give me a second. Well, Donna? Okay, so we would be coming back to that beginning corner, and in this beginning corner we will have already had half of the shell, and that would be the 2 doubles. So we're going to do 2 doubles, and then we will do a chain 1, and then in the top of the very first chain 3 we're going to do a half double crochet, and that positions you back at the center of the corner, so that when we do our next round, where we're doing our chain 3, and I don't know if you saw where I worked at, but right here, right over top of that half double, is where I will do the first half of the next corner. And then we just continue on down the side of the blanket. When we get back over to the next corner, it'll just be normal. It will just look like all you have to do is add your 2 double, chain 2, 2 doubles. And that's really about it. You can use the same color for multiple rounds all the way around the blanket. I'm just going to either alternate or put, a round or 2 of each color, and then it should be done. And I hope you've enjoyed your time making the blankie. And I'm not going to post in the video what it looks like, because hopefully everybody realizes it's a mystery. And just enjoy. Thank you. Bye-bye.